see dead people.
Look at me. Show me.
We have such sights to show you.
Welcome back to the Devil Made Me Do It, a horror podcast. I'm Jesse Spitzer,
And I'm J.R. Lees.
and this week we have a special. No, not well. It is special for sure. Uh, where we watched Speak No Evil. We watched both. Did you end up watching both?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. The original Danish movie, and then the remake. And Jason had never seen either of them. I've seen both of them before. So what did you think?
I am so happy that you recommended these to me because
Yeah.
I enjoyed. I mean, again, the word isn't enjoy. But I dug them both, and I'm happy. I'm excited. This is why I want to do the show with you, is talking about this kind of stuff. So thank you again for forcing me
Yeah.
to watch it,
Yes.
making me a better person.
So we're gonna talk about it spoiler free just for a little bit. If you want just a little taste of what the movies are like, and then we're gonna go into a full spoil discussion. So we'll give you a fair warning. But the general synopsis is it's a family of husband, wife, and child, and they meet another family while they're on vacation, and they seem like the perfect family. They end up becoming friends, and then they get invited to stay with them for a week, and things get weird, to say the least. It's both movies are very different by the end, but they're very similar early on. And yeah, I don't know. I it's really hard to kind of tiptoe around it without spoiling anything, but it's not a super in your face kind of horror.
I was it was somewhere I was reading about it, and it was described as social horror. And that's,
Yeah.
I think, the perfect way of saying it. It is, and the first hour of both are, I think, intentionally almost the same script. I mean, minus nouns and graphics and stuff. The European one is, correct me if I'm wrong. It's they're Dutch, and then they're visiting. They visit. It's a Dutch couple and their kid, and they're in Italy. They meet the couple from the Netherlands.
Mhm.
And then in the remake, it is an American couple who are living in London.
Yep.
They also visit Italy, and they meet a couple from like Scotland, I think. It's somewhere they can drive to or something like that.
Yeah, somewhere nearby.
But it's an American couple living in the UK, visiting they get invited to play. So it's the same setup, some of the same lines. But this first part, before I get spoilery, to try to sell people to watch it, if you it's social horror. It's not tortury. It's not a jump scare. It works best when you're thinking about, if you want to get mad watching a movie, and not mad that it's poorly made and it's insulting your intelligence, mad at the decisions they make, and then you realize that it's movies about people making the wrong decision, and not the simple version of, don't go in the attic, you idiot. Let's run across the street, get away, call the cops. It's not that kind of mistake. It's like giant, huge life decision kind of things.
Yeah.
I love the experience of watching these two. I will never watch the original one again. Probably it was that upsetting. How would you? But beyond that, though, how would you describe it? Spoiler free. It is.
Yeah, I if this movie is scary in the same way that The Office is funny. I don't know if you watch The Office.
Yeah, that's a very good analogy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's almost designed to just kind of make you uncomfortable, and not in like a intense way. It's all very well, for the most part. It's very it's just like kind of subtle. It's like I can see myself in this situation.
Yeah. It's whereas Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Greatest Film Ever Made, that is putting you in the country where in the countryside, and everyone around you is out to get you. Or Halloween is the bad guys coming into your house, as a kid, and terrorizing you. This isn't about the outside coming in. It's based on what you do in society. It's going to sound so highbrow, but it really is. Imagine you're put in a situation where you're on the weekend with your boss, and you're just terrified of passing gas or saying the wrong thing or saying something political about it, and it's that sort of nerves. And then, well, honestly, you should always say what you feel is the right thing, but that's not the right thing to do in a bus full of your bosses.
Sure.
This is set up because everyone's being polite. Um, Once we hit the spoiler zone, it's just going to be, I'm going to gush how much I love these movies.
I know.
Um, and they're so well made, and it's one of those movies where you could, if it throws you out of it, you could knock it for saying they make dumb decisions. But I make a lot of dumb decisions. Seen this haircut? I make a lot of dumb decisions, and it's the kind of thing where uh, to sell it to someone who wants to turn off and watch it and come back, it is both couples in the original and in the remake are real couples. They're not uh, perfect as no one is. They're not in a bad place. They're not in the middle of the husband and wife love each other, but that real kind of way where it's work, where marriages work, and
Yeah.
it's not just like a movie couple. And then when bad things happen, it's very realistic, and it's not a guy wearing a mask, which is not what this movie is, and it's just such a makes you it makes you, and again, it's social. I wish I remember where I listened to a couple of podcasts to make sure I wasn't going to be redundant, make sure I understood the movie. Um, and if one of them said social horror, I was like, that is the perfect name for it. And I can't think of many movies that fall into that because you have body horror, you have so many kinds of subgenre. This would be like Get Out, I think, is social horror, like Nope.
Yeah.
Movies where the situation, because if you look at it literally, there's no beneath the, underneath where the below is from Get Out. There'd be in that situation where you have to like follow, okay, I'm supposed to drive on the right side of the road, but there's an accident ahead. But if I go in the left lane, I'm the bad guy. So I'm going to stay in this lane and drive off a cliff because my Alexa said, go forward, turn here. But Alexa, it's a cliff. Turn here, turn now, and you do it. That's
Yeah.
either that's a great example or that's a terrible
No,
analogy. But yeah,
no, I
yeah.
dig it. The other
So should good.
So the only other thing I want to say before we jump into spoilers is that if you can handle a very intense movie, definitely watch the original first. And if you are more not into that kind of movie, I think the remake is still pretty safe.
The original is very tense, worth discussing, and you leave it and it sticks with you and you think about it for a while, and not like in a pleasant way. Whereas the remake, and I dug the remake, it takes the same setup and then it becomes like a fun. It's a Blumhouse, so it
Yeah.
is like a fun, um, the modern day Sam Raimi fun movie. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
violent as all get out, and it's still disturbing, but it's not. You're not the next day. You're not walking around going, "Oh, life
Yeah.
sucks."
It's not going to ruin
There's
your week.
I would argue that the remake is the perfect like chaser for the original one.
Which is funny because both times now that I've seen the original, I followed it up immediately with the remake.
Like it's like a shot of whiskey, and then I need the soda right away. I need the glass full of water. We watched them a day apart,
Okay.
and we watched the first one in one big bite. The dogs were actually quiet for once, um, and it is so good, and it makes you like uncomfortable. And the next day we watched the first hour of the remake, and again the dogs were not quiet that day. And it was by coincidence the part we paused it at is right where the two stories turn, where it diverge. So like my point of view, I thought the remake was just going to be James McAvoy doing the exact same movie, and then we hit play the next day, and it was just a big left turn, and I dug that. But the original is so upsetting that I really think if I didn't have the remake to watch afterward, if I said no, we're just going to watch the one, I'd probably be still kind of nuts about it. I'd probably be really upset by it and not like it. It was one of those things where this is the antidote.
Yeah.
Thank you, Blumhouse, for serving up a vaccine
Yeah,
for the.
that's an interesting way because it really. We're starting to get into spoilers a little bit here, so
As of this point, we're telling the whole. Actually,
Yeah.
put a pin in that. Go ahead and tell the spoiler filled plot to both real
yeah.
fast.
Okay, so the overarching plot is essentially the same for both. It turns out what is actually happening here is the couple, not our main couple, but our B couple. They they I don't even know if you would call it trafficking. they they essentially they have their kid and they meet a family who also has a single child. They get close to them. They invite them over to their house. They play with them for whatever reason. I have no idea, because they're psychos. And then they end up killing their kid and the parents of the other
the
family.
the psycho family, they bring in the couples,
Yep.
and then they have a kid who, as you find out, is not their kid.
Right.
And this is a series, and then their kid has his tongue removed. They've lied, said they're a doctor, and it's a disease, like a birth defect.
Yep.
But then what they do is they invite couples over to stay with them for a week. People that are like very wishy washy.
Mm.
And then what their plan is they do is they take the kid they have, and you realize that's a kid from a previous couple, off that kid, steal the family's child like a blue jay, takes that egg, takes that baby
Yeah.
kid, cuts off their tongue, and kills the parents. And they've been doing this. There's a great scene where they go through and they reveal,
So good.
and it's, again, this is where the original beats it. It's they discover all these kind of
Yes.
things. So what they do is, and they don't work. They just amass money by they basically don't even kidnap them. They come to their house,
Yeah.
spider to the fly kind of thing. Um,
Yeah.
which could be like a psycho, like a Norman Bates kind of thing. They come into the house. It's a trap. They off them. It's very like Chainsaw. They come into the house, and then behind the house is 500 cars under a tarp.
Yeah.
But it's devious because in both films the trip to Italy is to find in a tourist town. You find the couple that's you would think, oh, it's a couple and they have a kid.
Yeah.
But they want more than that. They're not just looking for a couple and a kid to have money. They're looking for a couple that is very non-confrontational.
Mm-hmm.
Not like wish. There's better name from wishy-washy, but they'll go along and they don't. It's not that they don't have a backbone. It's the fact that they're not.
They're just easily swayed, I guess, or I don't like. For instance, the test that he does. I imagine it's the test. A lot of this is completely. You kind of got to figure it out on your own.
Mhm.
But the very opening scene of both movies, Patrick, who is the main crazy guy, or the husband of the crazy family, asks Bjorn if he could use his chair. They're poolside. Their daughter was sitting in one of the chairs, and her stuff's still on it. And he goes up and asks, "Hey, can I use this chair?" And Bjorn/Ben takes his stuff off. It's like, "Yeah, that's fine." And
Instead of saying no, there's more chairs. This is ours,
right,
which would be in his right to do. But he doesn't want to be rude.
exactly.
So
Yeah. And what's devastating, so that's their plan. Their plan is, and something they've done several times before, find this family that will work, kill the parents, take the kid. What's so devastating is that it works perfectly in the original. And why the other one is such a good follow-up is because it doesn't work in the remake. The remake is almost beat for beat up until it gets to a point where, and I will say, before rewatching both, I actually did not like the remake, because I watched them back to back the first time I watched them, and
naturally you're comparing them. Naturally, yeah.
exactly, it was not fair. It didn't, because I remember, I think it was like 2 a.m. when I finished the first one. And I remember I was sitting in this exact spot with my hands on my head, just like mind blown. And I was like, I need more of this, like right now. Like I was like, and then the remake does, it kind of, at a certain point, the kids start to kind of, it feels a little like Scooby-Doo-ish a little bit, where it's just like, oh, we got to figure out what's going on here. And the kid's like trying to communicate.
Well, yeah, because the kid without the tongue sounds like Scooby. Ruh-roh.
Right. Whereas the original, the kid is broken. Like his brain, he's pretty much just completely soulless. He at one point does try to show the dad, like, hey, look at my tongue. It's all messed up. But for the most part, it almost feels like the kids in the original aren't really that like characters that much. It almost feels like they're kind of there as like a well, they're not like unrealistically portrayed or anything. It's just like they don't have like a moment.
There's very in the original. It is the parents' movie, and they are definitely Bjorn and Louise's daughter, whereas in the remake it is very much there's whole bits where she's off by herself, the
Yeah,
daughter,
Agnes.
uh, Agnes, thank you. The Dutch name Agnes is a much cooler way of saying Agnes, and then
Agnes.
it's just, oh, it's so good. Um, but yeah, it's an American thing where the kids have a whole, not there's scenes where the kid is the center, whereas in the original one you are the parents. You're going through the
Yep.
whole thing. You are with the parents, and then the kid is just there to you love the kid, but also she's aggravating, and then she's almost like a way that that Patty, the local bad guy, if you haven't, it's very much it's Patrick, and Patty
Mm,
is the James McAvoy is the bad guy character, and then his wife. Um, in the American version, it very much is the kids, like you said, Scooby Doo, go off on an adventure,
yeah.
and it's the kind of genius because the kid has his tongue ripped out, and he's been kidnapped. He's being held hostage by
Hmm.
the bad guys, but not only can he not communicate because his tongue's cut out, but also he doesn't. They don't know his language, and they show it written out. And I think it's in the American remake. I think it's Dutch. He's writing out. There's one shot where they show it, and the trivia
Yeah.
says that he's doing Dutch. And then in the original version, whatever language he tries to write a note, but he swallows it. That's why the remake, I think.
Yeah, the
It
remake.
is
Yeah.
he can't communicate even if he had a tongue, you know. And then
Which
good.
I was very happy in that moment because I actually forgot that happens in the remake, and in the remake he's like trying to communicate by he shows the little girl one of the watches that
Mhm.
Patty has stolen from another family, and she doesn't understand because out of context that wouldn't,
Yeah,
it's like, okay, cool, it's a
yeah.
nice
Your
watch.
dad has cool watches. He's a doctor, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so I remember this time around I was like, it's so weird that like he doesn't try to write something down, and then he does end up writing something down. And it's like, oh, of course he's not, they don't know what language he's speaking. Um, yeah, I like both. They're just so different.
Mhm.
Uh,
At that point,
yeah.
it is they literally. I'm trying to remember the actual moment. It's like at the end of the hour. The original film, the family shows they meet, they are invited, they go there, the husband and wife, they're a little uncomfortable, and then at a certain point, um, because Patrick or Patty keeps pushing buttons, there's a thing about vegetarian and doesn't care and kind of mocks her, and then there's things how Patrick and his wife are public displays of affection is a nice way of putting it in both versions, and it makes the hero couple uncomfortable because they're kind of got some friction because for whatever reason it's a marriage,
Yeah.
and it goes forth, and then at one point, the in both versions the American couple, the hero couple, um, they're having either a fight or they're trying to make up from a fight, and their daughter, winds up in bed, very played innocently, sleeping with the host couple,
Yes.
although the host couple are sleeping buck naked.
Yeah.
Oh, not they're not. It's American naked, so McAvoy in his tidy blue
Yeah.
underwear,
Yeah. They're yeah.
and it's not like they caught him in a really in a that kind of movie drama. But then the mom's like, "We're not staying here," so they leave again, and then for whatever reason they have to go back because they
The
forget a doll or
yep.
they get talked out of it. They keep escaping, and as you're
Yep.
watching it, well, we can't be rude, and they go back in, and like
It's insane.
and it's so realistic because in real life, if the chainsaw's behind you, you flip and run. But if you leave and you're going, oh, I don't want to be rude, and that's such a real life kind of thing where you're in a situation,
Yeah.
and it took me back to a bunch of places like working retail where I'm like, oh, I know this person's trying to. I worked at a toy store and be at the front desk for a couple of years, and people would walk in, they'd rip you off. They would either try and do fake returns or they'd do all these kind of things, or even at other places. But the someone's lying to you, and then you're like, well, I don't want to tell them I don't want to accuse them of lying. I don't want
Mm-hmm.
to accuse them of stealing. So I'm going to sit here and just well, okay, here's your refund for something you clearly didn't buy.
Sure.
But I'm the guy in this movie, and that's why the first one stuck with me so much was I would be the guy in that situation where I'm like, okay, yeah, well, I'm sure he doesn't mean it, and I probably would end up having, died by being stoned to death in the not the fun way. So
Yep.
it hit me hard. Then the communication thing with in both movies, um, the way that the host family gets at him is that the hero couple don't talk. They withhold things.
Yes.
Um, and I've been married going on 10 years here in a couple months, And my wife and I watched this, and we're kind of, and we wasn't like we were accusing each other, but like I see that happening. There's certain things that I don't bring up, and I should, and for some dumb reason, I'm not going to bring up the fact that like, oh, the dog pooped in the floor, or I pooped in the floor. Or whatever. I don't blame the dog. It was me. Because, but then she's like, I need to know that in case it's something he ate, and I'm like, well, I cleaned it up. I just didn't want to have to wake up, but I still need to know that. Like it's like you're trying to protect someone. There's a certain point where the hero in the original version, the 22 version,
Yeah.
um has he sees in graphic detail photographs that, and it's beautifully done.
Yeah, we got to talk about that scene when.
Oh yeah, but when he discovers what's going on, he gets in the car, he grabs the wife and the daughter, and they just take off, and he doesn't tell him why.
Yeah.
And I'm like going, just tell him. My
That's
wife's like,
so
why?
frustrating.
It is so, but it's frustrating to watch. But then I'm sitting
Yeah.
there going, I can understand that wouldn't want to deal with that. I would hop in the car. Okay, we're leaving, we're done, we're in the car, we're going. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, let's get to safety first.
Let's get to safety. I don't want to relive it. I don't want to stress out about it. I'm not going to think about it.
I,
And
I
that's absolutely wrong.
I'm on board with that. Like while I'm watching, I'm like, yeah, I could see a scenario where I wouldn't just be like, "Hey, honey, wake up! They're trying to murder us and take our child, so we should probably get going." Um,
Probably.
the moment where I lose a little bit of sympathy for Bjorn is when he leaves them alone afterwards. Like, hey, I'm gonna go run to this house real quick. It's like maybe just, hey, honey, can you come outside of the car so I can tell you something and not scare our daughter? But like to just leave them that close to the proximity of the danger
Yeah.
without even informing them that they're in danger. Like,
Okay, let's discuss this. So the set is they've escaped. Is it the car? Is it stuck or is it
yeah,
broke down?
because
It's stuck.
it was working fine, and then he saw that there was another car on the road, and it spooked him, so he drives off road, and then that
Mhm.
messes the car up.
Yeah, and it's beautifully done because we've all been in that spot. Where I need to get out of here. A cop's behind you. I'm going to pull off on a side road, let the ambulance pass, and then it's like now he's messed up.
Mm.
So they've gotten away. The car gets stuck. He runs out to get and again doesn't tell anybody anything. But I understand the whole. It's just panic. It's pure adrenaline. I'm not
Yeah.
defending him. I'm
But-
defending the movie because the scene coming up. It's the remake is a thriller, and the original one really is a parable. It is. It's not saying this happened. They're just making the chess pieces to get to this last scene, and it's so he runs out to get it. He comes back to the car. They're not there. If I'm getting confused, um, then Patty and the wife come and get him, and then so you have the car where it's Bjorn, who's the hero, his wife in the back, bad guy Patty, the daughter's in the back, and then the host wife is in the back, and you're just going, this isn't going to end well. And then so Bjorn tries for a second to fight back, and just gets his face beat in, and it is the least cinematic beating
Yeah.
because it's a little car. It's shot from the corner. It's all claustrophobic. You can't move around. You can't defend yourself.
I love the way that's
And
shot.
he just, and you feel those. I mean, I went back and watched that again the next day because I thought they had flashes of like white frames in there to show the punch. It's
Yeah.
not there. That was all in my head. It was like muscle memory of hitting your head where you think you see the stars and is spinning, the stars.
Yeah.
And he just punches him in the face a couple times. And he's like, you got to stop. And he's like, boy, and he's not even defending himself because he's just been beaten. The wife's in the back, terrified. The daughter's in the back. And then again, we're past spoilers here.
Yeah.
And the reason that they left the house originally is because we found the host couple's son drowned in the pool. So like
Yes.
discarded in the pool floating, and then Bjorn sees that and goes, "We're getting out of here." Doesn't tell anybody. That's what he saw. It wasn't the photos. It was the dead child, which is that is the time to go. There's no
Right.
being polite about that. So they've been pushed beyond politeness, and when they see the dead child, there's no more, because before that you can play on Bjorn and Louise's are they gonna there's no more, they're being polite, they can be rude, they can be like just kind of bullied into being passive is the word I'm thinking of.
Mhm.
But after the kid's dead, he has to leave.
Yeah.
Now you're in this car, he's been beat. I think it's just a very realistically violent, and they're both freaking out. One of an associate of the host we've seen before shows up, and it's the slowest, least special effect when they grab the daughter,
Oh.
and it's even talking about it. They cut
no.
her tongue. They cut her tongue out, and it's one of those kind of things where it's not that you feel it. It's the pain in that scene isn't like it's a special effect. It's not like the end of Hannibal when the head comes off. It's nothing. It's not flashy.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about, oh, that must hurt. You're just doing it. Why aren't the parents doing anything?
Yeah.
Why are they not stopping? They're sitting there. They're just cowering in fear. And then every time they try and move forward, they get punched. But they're not like in your head. You're going, well,
Like
why
I
are
would
they?
be throwing every ounce of my body to,
Yeah,
you
and
know.
you would be in the back. You'd be blocking. Anything you could do, open the door, grab them. But it's not about what you would do. It's what this couple does,
Hmm.
and they just can't. They're just beaten, and the kid gets the tongue pulled out, and the kid's taken away into the car.
The I gotta say the sound design in
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
moment, because you hear she's screaming, obviously, and
Yeah.
then post tongue being cut out, she continues to scream, but now it's
It's a
very
different sound. And
gurgly.
there's a point where like its scream goes from a scream to whatever that socket
Yeah.
sound like.
Oh my god.
And it's just, and as you're watching, and you're mad at them, and you're almost, there's a weird part of your brain you're going, well, whatever happens to them now, they deserve it,
Yeah.
And then they get up and they take them out there, and then the line
Oh
coming
my
up
god.
in the 2022 is very much,
It's probably my favorite line in any horror movie, I think, right now.
it's one of those things where it's just, and it's never gonna, we're gonna say what it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The couple's pulled out. It's where they first had one of their picnics there. It's by like a gorge.
Yeah.
And
And they
they're
made a
out there.
point earlier in the movie to like show that no one can hear you out
Yeah,
here.
you
Like,
go. This is where we have the primal scream. So it doesn't matter what you do.
yep.
They say take your clothes off. It's a weird choice. So the hero couple, but now they're just beaten. I mean, both physically and like nothing to them. They take their clothes off
Yeah.
just to show how vulnerable they are, and they make them go down the hill. And it's such a non-movie scene. It's not
No,
anyway. It's not. And then this is a movie where it doesn't ever remind you it's a movie. This is people you've never seen before. The score is minimal. It's just a lot of like ambient noise. Like this, everything is not. It's very pretty and cinematic, but it's not a
it's
movie.
beautiful.
When they get stripped down the bottom of the gorge, and they're like laying there, and before this they ask that he's begging like, why were you doing this to us?
Yeah.
And he says
Because you let us, which is
and then
so good.
it's so good because the same emotion you have when you see all the photos is the evidence that these guys are just killing people and taking their kids, killing people, taking the next kids, like this weird itsy bitsy spider.
Mhm.
When they say it's because you let us, you're telling the audience what the movie's about. Is
Yeah.
that they're only reason they let us do this. This movie is about people that are not fighting for themselves, that are complacent, that are passive, that don't ever stand up, that are just going to let the world come by. And they're saying, I guess the reason the director notes is that they're making points of certain European countries who were hands off. We're not part of this. But let things happen. Let's march through, and we're taken like in World War II. So it's like, oh, this has got resonance.
Sure.
But it's just like, oh, this is your fault. If you had done anything,
Yeah.
if you had like I didn't notice the pool chair. If you had just said no, we're using it, they would have gone on to somebody else.
Yeah.
He had just stood up for
Yeah.
for that kind of thing.
That was their in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then that's how they know these people aren't going to fight back. And they gave them chances with the whole movie. They could just drive away.
They give
And then
him
there's like so many chances.
chances. I mean, even up until there's a moment where Bjorn is in the car, fully aware of the danger that he's in. His wife and child are in the back seat. They have no idea because he hasn't said anything to him. And Patrick pulls over to the side of the road to go take a leak. And he leaves the keys in the car right
Oh, yeah,
there.
yeah.
And Bjorn looks at the keys and sees them and is like, nah, I don't know. That's a little risky.
Yeah, but it's also like, well, then I'm the bad guy then.
Right.
Because then I'm stealing a car, and I don't want to be the bad boy. I'm a good boy. I'm the hero of my story. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something that touched. I want to talk about some of the things that were changed in the remake that bother me. One of them is at the beginning of the movie, the little girl loses her doll in Italy, and he goes off and finds it. And by the time he brings it back, his wife and daughter are talking to Patrick, and I cannot remember the wife's name in the original, but in the remake, it's like Kira or something like that.
And it's like Kiara in the
Yeah.
remake, and then it's Karen in the original.
Oh, okay.
I have cheat notes.
Nice. I had those at one point, but they got too distracting for me. But yeah, so he brings the doll back, and there's just this little tiny little sweet moment where Patrick tells Bjorn like, "Oh wow, that's pretty heroic of you."
Yeah, you're a hero.
And you see him just kind of like, oh, thanks. And he's like, no, seriously,
Shoulders go back. Yeah.
yeah. He's like, no, seriously, that's very heroic of you. And he's like, well, thanks. And then in the remake, there's so many little changes that I'm not entirely sure why. And I think the point of the remake also is like, oh, this isn't the same kind of couple, I guess. Like, these are different characters. I think the wife of the hero family is a lot better at sticking up for herself. um and the husband is a lot more fed up with the daughter, I think, in the remake. Like, he's very like, we need to get her past this, kind of thing, whereas Bjorn is a lot more just like, okay, well, this is what she needs. I'll make
She
it
wants her
happen.
toy. She wants her blankie. She's going to keep that. Even though she's kind of old, but yeah.
Yeah. So in the remake, he doesn't actually find the rabbit. I think Patrick actually does,
I think, yeah.
which is it's just a weird little choice.
Makes you wonder like he had it the whole time. Because later on,
Oh, I didn't think about
because
that.
like he's been using the doll knowing that that's going to keep him lured in. So maybe. I didn't
Yeah, he.
catch that.
No, I think, that's very possible. Um, yeah, I don't remember what the point I was going for was, but yeah, that's a
Well,
thing.
some of the differences between the original and the remake.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
it's like I think the remake, the point where it changes, because the original, it is the whole setup. They're there. They have a chance to leave. Um, they find he finds the kid floating in the pool. This is after the finds in the pool. He grabs his wife and daughter, and they go off. And then all the bad stuff happens with they get beat, and then they lose, and they get tossed in the thing. The daughter loses the tongue. The remake, it follows the same trajectory until like a point after they've already gotten away and come back because of the guilt. And then it's like the movie has to go, okay, how do we change this? Let's make the kids the focus for a while. And then the
Yeah.
two kids have their little Scooby-Doo adventure.
Which is kind of interesting. I do like that the daughter was the first to find out in
It
the
wasn't it was
remake.
neat. It wasn't just the same thing. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
And then she like
Um,
tells them all. I love family movies, family horror movies, especially. I hate my most hated trope in horror is the family that doesn't believe the person that's, the victim or whatever.
Mhm.
That's why I really like. There was some movie that came out recently where that was like the whole theme is like her husband didn't believe that she was in danger the whole time, and
Mhm.
it literally just ends with her being like, "I told you so." Um,
Good title.
yeah. uh, but this movie doesn't do that. It's the little girl finds the mom and is like, "Yo, this is what's happening." The mom immediately believes her, and they're like, "Okay, well, now how are we gonna get the husband in on this?" And they're still trying to kind of be polite. It is, but it's so much different. When it veers off, it becomes such a different movie in that the threat also becomes very different.
Mhm.
And I will say, I do like this remake. After
Mhm.
watching it a second time, I do like it. But it also uses that line, "because you let us," and I feel like it is so less earned in
Yeah.
this, because at that point when he says "because you let us," he literally, they have them like at gunpoint in a basement.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, well, I think it's probably the gun at this point that's forcing them to stay, because they actually do try to escape, and um and they end up failing to escape, not because they don't want to be rude, but because they're trying to save the other kid's life, because he
Yeah.
can't swim. We find out earlier he can't
They're
swim.
they're in a car. They're leaving. They've told them they're going to take off. They've had a flat tire. They've done all these little very cinematic. Oh, we can't leave yet. The tire's flat. Oh, we can't leave yet.
Which
The
is,
the, the
it's
doll's
fun.
gone, and it is, and it's stressful.
It is so
Um,
stressful.
and it's because I have a pin for that one too. And then they finally get the car running. I'm like, it's going to be out of gas, or the battery's going to be empty. It's an electric car.
Mhm.
When they're driving away, like, okay, they're going to make it. And there's even a whole deal with like the gate to the whole estate, the farm, is automatic. It's going to close on them. They're going to be trapped inside, and they're getting away, and they're going, and like, okay, something's going to happen. And then in the rear view, you see they throw their kid, the host couple, in the water. The kid, they pointed out before, it can't swim,
Yep.
so they have to stop. And now that's kind of the big changes. Instead of the little boy dying, they jump in the dad jumps in the water, actually proactive for about one scene, and saves the kid. Now and it's very much an American remake because they can't have the kid die, and we can't cut the kid's tongue out, even though they did it before the movie started. You can't show that.
That's a,
So now they hear a couple, and then the two kids are now against the bad guys.
mhm.
It's very Last House on the Left kind of vibe, remake vibe.
Yeah, and then from that point on, the movie is completely different. It's
Yeah,
like in genre, it's just and it's awesome. It's so
yeah.
fun.
Oh, and
It
it's super well done. Yeah, yeah.
the
Then it becomes a movie. It's no longer the allegory for being passive against resistance and laying down your weapons against the oppressor.
mhm.
It's about we can outsmart them, right? And
Yeah.
then and it's so fun, and it's one of those things where this year, 2025, every movie has a trailer for Together, the Dave Franco
I want to
movie.
see that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm almost tired of it because I've seen that trailer before everything. It plays before, I'm sure Lilo and Stitch has a trailer for it. But then last year, every movie I saw had a trailer for the McAvoy, who's great by the way. The remake was everything. I was so tired of it because I know what this is. I've seen trailers for the original. I know it's very bleak. And I saw it so many times, and that's probably why I didn't want to watch the original because I've seen the trailer so often. I know what's going to happen. I didn't know it turns into um it's a Blumhouse action movie.
Yeah.
And it's a nail biter. It's a thriller. It's
Yeah.
not a horror movie. It's a thriller. That last half an hour is great.
And it's so funny,
Oh, it is so darkly funny. Yeah, yeah.
which is another reason why it is almost a perfect follow up movie because
It's a palate cleanser. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, oh wow, what if what if the original, instead of it ended with their child getting their tongue cut out and them getting stoned to death while naked in the middle of a pit, what if they just like went on wacky hijinks and tried to set a roof on fire and all these things. That moment is so
Yeah.
these characters are so different than the originals, in that they are a lot more, they're, I guess they're just more American characters.
They've seen Home Alone. They've seen Die Hard.
Yeah.
They watched some good stuff.
They're not as subtle in their because Bjorn and Luis, they are so subtle. Like their flaws are very subtle, I think. And in any other movie, these two it would just be a normal, situation. They even, so like the remake adds infidelity to their relationship, which I don't think is in the original at all.
I don't think so. They were just sort of been a non-communicative marriage. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, their relationship is a lot more of a character in the remake.
Mhm.
Like it has its own arc, and there's that great moment where Patty is like, "You guys aren't telling us the full truth, are you?" When they're trying to escape, and the wife just kind of just vomits like all of her emotions out about.
And
the
they're all true.
relationship.
She's saying, yeah, she's like, well, we don't talk anymore. And we haven't made love in 6 months. And by the way, it's kind of small. All this stuff. And then McAvoy looks at it for a second
Yeah,
because the truth is they're trying to escape because of the insanity.
yeah,
But he pauses, like he's going to call BS on it. And he kind of goes, finally, the
yeah,
truth. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And it is so, I might have to watch the original because there's a lot of funny stuff that I'm just so, you forget about it. It's like the opposite of Novocaine, where you forget about the dentist trip and you forgot about it. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
This is like the ending is so bad that I forgot about all the humor to it, leading up to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And again, it's kind of like the same thing. Like 1,000 years ago, when Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer came out and got the X rating, the MPAA, not the MPA, the MPAA gave it an X because it was just too traumatic. And there's no gore in that movie for anything. At the same time, Hannibal comes out, the Anthony Hopkins, and that got an R. And Hannibal has, like I said, I don't know why it's why it's in my head. They have a very graphic taking off Ray Liotta's skull cap, and then in front of you the whole time, it's a great effect, cuts off the brain and cooks it, and that
Oh.
got the R. And Henry gets nothing. And the MPAA's excuse was, well, it's Anthony Hopkins. The audience knows who that is. They know it's a movie. Whereas the 2022 Speak No Evil, it hurts to watch because those are real people.
Yeah.
There never reminds you. There's no music behind it. You don't know the subtitle. You don't know half the talking about it. The remake, it's a James McAvoy movie.
Yeah.
And the other lady, she was in The Turning. She's like one of the Terminator movies. Like it's a cast of actors. And it's nothing. They're not bad. But the whole time you're like, oh, here's the action scene. Here's where he pulls the gun out, and he's gonna load the gun, and they're gonna find the gun. They're gonna shoot. Everyone knows how to use a gun in this movie.
Yeah.
And it's nothing. It's. I'm saying, okay. Here's my question for you. I'm rambling now.
Sure.
I think, and apparently, like the cast didn't watch the remake, didn't watch the original because they don't want to inform their choices. But I mean, there are bits in that movie where they give away like plot points in the remake that I don't think you would understand what's going on if he had like almost alluding to the original film. Like you mentioned a minute ago, the line,
Yeah.
why'd you do this to us? And then McAvoy, very not dirty Harry, but very like, hero shot because you let us.
Yeah.
And it's a movie line. And I don't think like it's almost like we're waiting to hear the line. Like you're gonna say something like, go ahead and make my day.
Right.
It's like that is the line. And like if I wouldn't have appreciated that line and that delivery without seeing the first one. And it's almost like they knew that. Like you're waiting for the line. Come on, we're gonna say it. It's like it's the poster line,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a line from The Strangers, which actually came first, but I still think this did it better.
I was
than
actually going to bring that up. I think
Please do.
Strangers, people bring the Strangers line up. The, what is it? Because You Were Home? Was that what the, yeah. And this is like that for me. Like that, whenever I hear someone bring that up, I'm just like, that was pretty good, but this one, this is a better line, I think.
Well, that's like the because you were home is the outside coming in. You did nothing wrong outside of being at your house. It was random, could be anybody. This one is
It's the opposite.
it's the opposite. You had no spine.
Yeah.
You were complacent, and then you let the Nazis into your country, kind of thing.
Plenty of opportunity. And
Yeah, you could have said no anytime. Yeah.
Yep.
McAvoy. I mean, and it's weird. I've seen McAvoy because he is very good in this, but he's done X-Men and he's done so much fun stuff, right?
Yeah.
But then like Split is Shyamalan stuff was the crazy stuff. I think he's better here because in here he's just so intense when and again
might be my favorite performance of his.
Mhm.
My only issue is that I like him too much.
Yeah.
While I'm watching this, I'm like, man, that kid is kind of dancing out of beat,
One of the scenes in both films is the two kids are going to put on a dance for the there's no internet, there's no cable. They're going to do a little play, a little dance number for all four of the parents. And in both versions, they're not good. They've been practicing for like 10 minutes, and it's all the scenes they've seen from it. So you think it can dance. So the American parents were the hero parents, and both are kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, this is great. Kids kind of dance, and then the host mom in both versions is kind of like, yeah, okay, but in both versions, Patrick and Patty, they're just like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and it just took me back to like I've been in sporting events, not as a player, but in crowds where there's parents that are just screaming at their kids, right? And this is probably what it's based on. I'm like going, should I go tell Mrs. O'Malley it's a 6th grade basketball? Like, is it my place to go, hey, stop yelling at the ref? You're like this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Quit yelling at your kid. They're having fun, and and he's throwing a cup at him in both versions.
Which I didn't clock this the first time around, but in the original, did you notice that the cup that he throws is the one that they gave him at the beginning of the movie? Because they bring in coffee cups and they're like, oh, coffee cups, and looks at it and it's like, oh, mermaids, and you don't really see the mermaid coffee cup in that scene, but later on when he throws that coffee cup, it's got a mermaid on it.
So it's the one they brought. It was their gift, means nothing to them because they're going to be dead soon. So yeah.
Right.
Oh man. You're liking McAvoy, and it's true because I remember thinking in the original, I've been the parent who's like watching someone else freak out, and then they don't yell at my kid, so it's nothing for me to do. If they're yelling at their own kid, that's their kid. Do what they want to do. But then in the remake, I'm digging McAvoy so much, and I'm like, I'm going, yeah, the kid can't really dance. That's true. And that's why I think it's the perfect remake because it is the palate cleanser. It's like, okay, I'm so upset from the original. I want to watch Jimmy McAvoy. I'm not Jimmy. I want to watch. It'd probably be Jamie. He'd probably be a Jamie, wouldn't he?
Sure.
I want to watch McAvoy just chew scenery and just be insanely evil. I want him to be, his Dracula thing, and it's so much fun to watch.
And I also love in the remake they draw attention to the fact that because in both versions, they are playing with their food essentially. The
yeah, it's a good analogy.
Yeah, and they actually say that in the remake because they have their third guy, which I'm glad they went away from. They introduced the babysitter in both versions, and the babysitter ends up being in the original. He's the accomplice, I guess. He's like their third person that helps.
He's like a henchman.
In this one, they like mention, oh, he's a Syrian refugee, and I'm like, can we not have the Syrian refugee be the? But no, for all I know, in that version, he's just a really sweet babysitter because he doesn't show up again afterwards. It's the bartender that shows up.
And he showed up solely to be someone else to get killed.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
he was just there. We're gonna have a body count at the end. We have to have more. Like we have to have more terrorists to fight John McClane.
Yeah, yeah. And
Um,
at one point, he runs into Patty, and they had already seen this new guy's face. So Patty's like, "Oh, you're in it with us now."
yeah,
And he says, "You're like my mom's cat. Why do you always play with your food?"
it was
It's like
yeah,
you
it's
should have
perfect.
just
It's
offed
perfect.
him right away.
Yeah,
And
why are you this? We all we want is their money. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
My wife pointed out that kind of like that's not worth it. But she pointed out that the remake really could just be a sequel to the first one, like a couple years later.
oh
Like
sure,
the Patrick from the original is just now he's played by Patty, and like this is this a family 5 times later,
sure,
and it works. I mean, it minus there wouldn't be another Louise, but like they're living and they've moved on, and they've just kind of like the strangers have changed their face
Hmm.
because this so it could be the same babysitter, it could be the same guy,
sure,
It's like the sequels to like Manhunter and Silence of the Lambs. It's the same story, different actors playing it.
yeah,
This is just 10 years after the original one, which means luckily the American remake is the ending.
yeah,
Oh, now let's get to the ending. Okay, the ending. Before we do it, this is the beauty of it. Um, they give whereas in the original one it's nothing good happens. It's just bad. It's going to keep getting worse. How do you feel? Okay, at the end, because I want to hear what Mr. Spitzer thinks.
yeah.
At the end, the family's fighting back, and then they off the guy from the restaurant. They fight off the host mom, and it's very very well done.
Hmm.
Now you have McAvoy. He's beaten. He's on the ground. They're gonna escape.
They just injected him with like
Ketamine,
ketamine.
which within the daughter does that, and then it's really really well done. Um, um, so it's one of those like it's definitely a movie thing that they have. She happens to have the shot in her pocket. She
Mm,
has the needle. So McAvoy's on the ground. He's in and out of consciousness. They're gonna get away. This is the sign. This is the scene in every other movie where like, okay, Michael Myers is laid down. Just stab him again. Just it's like the end of
yeah,
Scream. Just shoot him in the head. Just
yep.
don't let him get up again. That kind of thing. So you have the dad with the gun. He's pointing at him. Everyone else walks away. The wife and then their daughter. That was me. Speaking of Halloween. Yes, my phone alarm is Halloween because I'm a big nerd. Okay. So they're all I'm done. Okay. So they're all getting away. The dad has the gun pointed at McAvoy. He's laying there. And you're like, okay, he hasn't done anything yet. The wife has done all the hero stuff. The daughter's done the hero stuff.
Hmm.
He needs to do it. Is this going to be the scene where he comes up and actually takes his place and saves his family? And no, he doesn't. And he walks away. And then the little ant, the kid who's no one knows his family is, who's his tongue ripped out, grabs like a cement boulder and just destroys McAvoy's face.
Yeah,
And it's not graphic. They don't show it. I mean, they show like a frame or two, right?
yeah,
But it's all on this kid. And I was watching this kid who's gave just a great. This is when I realized how good his acting was because he was all playing it so small until this scene
sure,
where and he's screaming and the scream is like in the first one.
yeah,
That's not a tongue and mouth scream. That sounds gross.
yeah.
There's the sound he makes is so hollow and still wet.
Mm.
How do you think about that ending when it wasn't that we didn't get the husband his hero scene?
Yeah, I like the ending. The only problem I have with the ending is that it kind of muddies the water a little bit on what the theme of the movie is
Yeah,
because
yeah.
early on, when they're in the bar, James McAvoy has this whole monologue about generational trauma and
Mhm.
how like you are messed up because your parents were messed up by their parents who were messed up, and at the end, there's that moment right before Ant smashes his skull in. Patrick says, "That's my boy,"
Mhm.
and then so it feels to me like they were trying to go for that kind of thing of like, oh, even though this is a relatively happy ending, like now this kid is completely traumatized.
Like you're getting away, but we're also going to end. This is not. He's not escaping. He's
Right.
he's he's standing, but he's not winning.
But then there's the sweet moment in the car right afterwards, because both movies end with a silent car ride. And this is the whole family, and they're escaping. They're all like messed up, and the kid looks like 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the little girl gives him the rabbit, and you see him start to cry.
Mhm.
And it's like, okay, there's still something left in him. Like he's not completely broken. He
Yeah.
still has his. He's still a child.
Yeah. There's
At
still
the end
the
of the
hope
day.
that he's going to be able to yeah.
Yeah, so I like all of that a lot. I just wish that it's just kind of odd to me that like it's brought up in the one scene early on, and then it has the payoff, I guess. And it I don't know, it just feels a little strapped on.
It's I bet you the scene in the bar when he says that was seeding it, and then at the end you're supposed to have that Kubrickian stare at the end. And what if it was a note? Because if it kept on Ant in the car in the mirror, and he's just like, oh, he's going to grow up to get his own house, and he's going to have his own,
Right.
it's going to go from there.
He's
But I
going to
wonder,
cause damage to somebody else.
yeah, he's going to, yeah, because the abuse kind of the philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if someone said, hey, can we just give it a little bit of a happy ending? Because it's like there might have been an alternate ending or like a note from somebody.
Yeah.
To just give him because the bunny's still there. It still works really well.
I think it works great. Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's
it
very
definitely
sweet.
it definitely makes it into a thriller, not the social horror, the commentary kind of piece that
Yeah.
the original one is.
Because
Because it is like a happy ending with the bunny. Yeah.
right, walking away from this, like, what is the lesson that we are meant to be taught by that, that situation? Because the lesson in the original is very clear.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, yeah, it's another one of those things where it's like, if I had never seen the original, or if this if this ending was in a different movie, I probably would be like, oh, that's great.
Yeah, yeah. If I never knew about the original, I'd be like, this would be a really kind of an ass kicking, fun, survival horror. It would have been survival horror, not social horror. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, it's probably I'm probably being a little unfair with my criticism, but yeah, I do like the ending. I like the ending. I think it is for that movie. It works really well.
I think I would only recommend the remake unless someone I know, unless there's someone I know that wants that type of a thriller kind of thing. But I think I would only recommend the remake if you watch the original on maybe not back to back because it is fascinating to watch how it is almost the same script for the first hour.
Yeah.
And then it just takes that turn. So it's almost like the to piss off certain people, the multiverse. In this universe, the what if story is what if the kids found the truth instead of the dad finding out the truth, that kind of thing.
Oh, we still got to talk about that scene, by the way.
Go ahead. Let's do it right now.
The reveal. So in the original, I'll talk about the remake first. In the remake, essentially, Ant, who's the son, they're like playing football, and he's purposely throwing the football further and further away to get them out of.
And he's already done a whole trick where he's gotten the keys and snuck the keys because there's a whole padlock thriller thing.
Yeah. And he brings the little girl downstairs, shows her a photo album of all these families and things. In the original, the way it's revealed, so Bjorn is I think for whatever reason he's awake. I don't remember why, but Patrick lures him to find out the truth. Mm-hmm. That's what the read I got, anyways, because he gets up. I can't remember what gets him out of bed originally, but on his way, he ends up going into the living room where the TV is on.
And yeah, the like, TV's on. TV's on, like the sink's on.
Yeah. So he turns off TV, then he hears the sink, and then he goes shuts off the sink, and in front of the sink is a big window, and he sees the shed with the doors open, and it's like opening and closing in the wind. And then he goes to there, and he enters, and there's this great shot of it's a bunch of luggage, and then on a shelf it's like a bunch of cameras.
It's all like lined up like a flea market. Like this is where and it's very at this point in the movie, you're like, oh, that's weird because it's not one person. It's like 10 suitcases.
Yeah.
And they're all different colors that they don't match. It's random suitcases, and then there's 10 cameras all lined up, like there's someone making like a marketplace sale.
Sure. Yeah. And then he ends up going up the stairs, and it's this crazy cool room. It's like the roof. It's kind of like an old style basement, but the roof, the ceiling is covered in photographs, and there's not a single line of dialogue in this whole scene, and there doesn't need to be, because he sees a picture, and there's I can't remember what the kid's name is in the original, but it's their kid, and he has his tongue out, I think, or is that might be in the remake, but he's like smiling and with a different couple, and then next to them is Patrick and the wife, and another child, a daughter. And then he looks
And,
at
she, and
another.
that daughter looks sad.
Yeah, yeah. And then he looks at another picture, and there's that exact daughter looking happy with her parents, and then it's the two of them with a different kid who looks sad, and then and it
And they're
just
all
keeps,
like big group shots, all 6 of them in every shot. Yeah.
yeah. And earlier in the movie, they take this exact picture with Bjorn and Luis, and yeah, it's done completely no dialogue at all. Whereas in the remake, it's someone showing another
It's
character.
Aunt is showing the daughter, and they're like pointing it out. And
Yeah,
like, he
it's
even
like,
takes a
oh,
new photo and he's pointing, and it's very much like, hey, audience,
yeah,
this is what's happening.
right.
See this? Yeah.
It doesn't quite have the faith in the audience.
Yeah. It's like in the 2022 one, it's definitely they're showing you it, and then you figure it out, and then you go, oh, good
Yeah.
Lord, you know.
That's when my hands went on top of my head and they stayed there until the movie was over.
In your heart, they're still up there.
Yeah.
And then like the remake, it is very much. You guys getting it? Did you see what's happening? They're making sure that everyone in the back row who went out to go pee. This is what.
Yeah.
Okay, we got this. Good. Oh yeah, the original scene is it's. And it is that feeling when you suddenly catch on. And it's like, oh, you have this weird little like the endorphin rush of, oh, I figured it out.
Yeah. And
Oh, this is disgusting. Oh, this I know this taste. This tastes like that one thing. It's rat poison. You're happy you recognize it's rat poison. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's very, very good. And then I don't know if we said what. Yeah, we mentioned what happens at the end with in both versions. It's just such a solid. The original is such a solid. Like, this is the theme. This is what we're going for, and it's just executed so perfectly. And yeah, it's anyone could. I mean, when you hear that line, it's because you let us. It just, the whole movie just clicks immediately for anybody who's watching. Even if you're not even that good at like picking up on, it's not subtle.
Yeah.
Which is weird because it is super subtle compared to the remake. Another scene in the remake that I wish could have used a little more subtlety is when they are leaving. When okay, I'm gonna give it a compliment sandwich. Because I actually do really like this. I think this is one of the moments that the remake did better. The remake did it worse, but then it's followed up by something that it did better. The wife finds the daughter in bed with the other couple in their underwear, and they leave, and the girl realizes, oh, I don't have my bunny with me. And she throws an absolute fit to the point where she's like kicking the chair. They almost get in a car accident. Like, it's very over the top. Whereas in the original, like, they convince the little girl, like, we're not going back for it. And she stops arguing, but she starts crying. And that's what Bjorn sees that and is like, all right, you know what? I'm going to be a hero one more time. Because he's obsessed with...
I did nothing else right, but yeah, I'll do this right.
But so I don't like that as much. But then the scene afterwards, which I think is one of the best scenes in both versions, which is they get caught. So they go back for the bunny. The dad sneaks in. The daughter finds the bunny in the car. And so the mom goes in to get the dad and be like, hey, let's get out of here. And in both versions, they walk in on Patrick caught them. And it's not like you're not scared for their safety in that moment. But it is very just like, oh, this is awkward.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the awkward, like, oh well, he's gonna cry, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, and
we made him feel bad.
Patrick's, I would say, McAvoy's Patrick is more angry, I guess, or more just like annoyed. But the original Patrick, he's just heartbroken. He's like, oh, I don't understand. Why did you leave? And it's so good. But the thing I like in the remake versus the original is that the Kira is like, Patrick didn't even know that I brought the girl into the bed. Like, that was completely me. And then she has this like monologue about how she had a daughter once, and which I'm assuming she's alluding to one of their previous children. Yeah. But and by the end of that monologue, it is kind of like, yeah, how are you gonna stay mad at this woman right now? In the original, they kind of are just like, whatever,
Yeah, we're different country. We do things differently here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is another thing that the original has in its that's going for it, is that it takes place in a foreign country with they do speak a lot of English because it's their common tongue. But it's so outside of what I'm used to culturally, that when they decide to make these bad decisions, I'm I'm like, oh, maybe that could just be like a cultural thing, like
Like a language barrier, a cultural. Yeah. I
exactly.
thought the one thing they lose just because they have to make it all in English, so Miracle will watch it. The original, like it's the hero couple is I always get this backwards. They're the Dutch, and then
Yes.
the host ones are the Netherlands.
Yep.
I'm thinking I'm wrong about that, but anyway, um, so like you said, the common language is English. So when they're talking to each other, they're speaking in English. But when the hero couple is talking in their native tongue, we get subtitles.
Yeah.
But when the host couple, the psychos, when they talk in their native tongue, we don't get subtitles.
Yeah.
So we're kept on the outside even then. And I think that's a genius stroke where it's like we don't know what they're saying and they're talking right in front of you. And there's scenes where the hero couple are speaking in their native tongue and we're seeing the subtitles.
Hmm.
And then those guys are talking and it's just like you as if you were one of, well, give me the cheat
Yeah.
sheets. Give me the crib notes, what they're saying.
And I'm sure if you did translate it, they probably aren't saying anything like
Too, yeah, it's not like, oh,
interesting.
they're not, then we'll steal their child's
Yeah.
tongue. No, it's, yeah.
Which well, the remake has a moment like that it makes me laugh because it's just so unnecessary. But it's when Patrick is talking to Ant and they're by themselves. This is the shoe's already dropped. You know that Ant isn't actually his child, and
Mhm.
he's just like, "You gotta show me more love, kid." Like, it feels like he's giving him notes on like
Yeah.
you know.
Well, that's why I think that it's the best way to view it. The remake is having seen the first one because then you all that stuff it just means more.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like, oh, he's saying this, he's giving the kid notes because he's the kid's he's kidnapped.
Hmm.
Whereas if I watched it without seeing the original, I'd be like, oh, what a jerk dad. If I didn't have already have the things
Sure. Yeah.
like they should sell when you buy the original, they should have the remake as like a bonus feature on that disc.
Yeah.
That's how I would. That's a perfect
Combo
packaging.
pack
Combo pack, yeah.
for sure.
Or by the commentary track, which I couldn't understand because he doesn't speak English.
And that's another thing too. The benefit of having the language barrier situation is that the daughter also doesn't speak English in the original, so they're
Mhm.
able to actually have conversations in front of her without her knowing.
Without raising suspension, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know that looking back, the host couple in the original, they speak Dutch.
Oh, I'm sure.
They know everything he's talking about it because it's just it has to be. I do love the little throwaway in the remake that when they're on vacation, they have a Dutch couple in the corner they're making fun of the whole time.
Oh yeah.
I find that pretty funny. That's like a little allusion to the original one. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want to say thank you very much because I was not avoiding it. I never pushed play on this one because the trailer for the remake was just so omnipresent all
Sure.
last year, and I was kind of like, I know what's going to happen. They showed in the trailer the tongue being missing. I'm an idiot. That is a plot point in like the minute 15.
Yeah.
But the trailer made it sound like it was the big end of the movie. You see his tongue's gone, and you know that there's a tongue eater. It's a tongue eating massacre. So thank you for bringing this. This is what I love about this. I would have
Yeah.
watched.
Yeah. For sure. So I take it you would recommend the both of these versions
I would
depending on
if someone I
person?
knew really likes thrillers, and I can't think of one like it because there's not many. Maybe I'd recommend I recommend the remake to people that like the remake of Hills Have Eyes, that kind of thing,
Okay.
And that's kind of funny because I would also recommend the original to people that like the Wes Craven original Hills Have Eyes.
Sure.
Um, and if you really like Hills Have Eyes 2, I'm not recommending anything to you because there's a dog flashback scene. But no, but it's like it's a very good remake. I really think to appreciate it, you have to watch it after the first one. It's because it's not like Red Dragon and Manhunter, where Manhunter is so great, but then it is great. And then Red Dragon, the Brett Ratner one, is like, well, yeah, but we have Anthony Hopkins in it. It's like, oh, but it's got star power. Manhunter is 1,000 times better any day.
Sure.
The McAvoy remake, it's just more fun, and
Yeah.
I'm glad I watched it because I mean, honestly, I was the thoughts of my passivity and my avoiding conflict, and even my non-communicativeness with my wife about certain topics it was like, oh, I would have been bummed out for a week. Oh, if I don't talk to my wife, I'm gonna have my tongue cut out, that kind of thing. Or it's just one of those things. I need to be more not so laid back and let the world don't take advantage, kind of thing.
Sure.
And it meant a lot to me. And then but it was bumming me out the next day. Just little things like, oh, in driving in traffic, I'm not taking the right of way sometimes. Oh, I'll let this guy go.
Mm.
And that's not good. And not that it's like being impolite. It's like if you don't take the right of way, that guy waiting for you to take the right of way,
Sure.
he expects you to. You need to do those kind of things. Like if you're waiting in line, let the person go ahead. The people behind you are like, hey, listen here, Dillweed, PG, PG. So to do that, and so I thought about that, but I was very happy that I had the remake to get me out of jail free by not having to worry about dwell on my own insecurities,
Yeah.
which there are aplenty. So
That's the thing, because I feel like this movie is a 1-2 punch for people with kids, which I don't have.
oh yeah.
But I do have social anxiety, so that part hits really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's like it goes beyond. It's almost something interesting too. So Bjorn and Luis's inability to put themselves in an uncomfortable situation is actually kind of selfish of them.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about the safety of her daughter, the safety of each other, it's like it people think about like being kind of passive and not being confrontational as being kind of more selfless, like, oh, I won't mind. But once that starts affecting those around you, then it's like, oh no, you're acting selfishly, because you're not just not standing up for yourself, now you're not standing up for your family.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with. I know it's something I struggle with in real life. And yeah, I've never seen a movie hit that theme so well, or really at all.
And never in this genre. I mean, if you have that theme, it's going to be a Lifetime movie. It's a bad example. They're different now, but like it's going to be a movie of the week kind of thing, a Hallmark movie. The boy who couldn't face traffic stop. I remember forever ago when my kid was like 12, we're in a store, I don't know what the store was, and we wanted to find something, and I'm going through the whole shelves trying to find it, and I'm like, I don't want to bug anybody. I want to ask the person that works here to help me find a tennis racket. I have no idea what it was anymore.
Sure.
Come on, kid, we got to look for ourselves sometimes. We got to, like, I'm trying to hide behind the fact I don't want to deal with anybody, and have to bother them. And Thomas, my kid, he's like, again, 10 or 11, you could just ask them to do their job. And I'm just like, again, as a kid parents the adult. And I'm like, yeah. And since then, whenever I'm in a store, I'm like, I'm going to go look an hour and a half or something, or I'm going to go ask the person whose job it is to do that, who isn't going to mind at all if I ask them.
Right. No, that's literally,
yeah.
I feel like they're probably bored and they're like, oh, cool.
Oh, usually, yeah. Unless that kid is just an asshat, and then he deserves to have me ask him where the butter is.
Sure.
Sir, where's the vegan butter? At your house. Leave. Okay. All right. So I am very happy that you picked this one. I really enjoyed the experience of watching this one. Talking about this is what the show's about, is to find a movie that one of us really likes, and then to talk at depth with it, not just posting. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy with this one, sir.
Yeah, I know, and I knew this would be a fun conversation too. So, but next time we're going to be discussing other horror remakes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think we're probably going to do another maybe top 5 our favorite horror remakes.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to mention the obvious one that's not going to be?
The idea was it's going to be best horror remakes that aren't The Thing.
Right. Because
otherwise we all get it. It's like given.
And there's no way we're not going to just sit here and talk about The Thing for.
Just do the Chris Farley. Remember The Thing when that thing happened?
Yeah.
Remember when the hand? Yeah, that was great.
It's the shot. They use the same shot over and over again, and it makes you comfortable. Yeah. So that's gonna be exciting. I think that's gonna be fun. I have not even started thinking about my list.
No, I've been thinking about Speaking of Evil the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's when you brought it up about I gotta. Gonna have to. No, we don't need to watch every movie ever made and remake. If we can bring in our 5 favorite ones,
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, it's very cool.
Yeah.
Look forward to that one too.
Awesome. Okay. Well, until next time, this was Devil Made Me View It. I'm Jesse Spitzer.
And I'm J.R. Lees.
And, thanks for watching.
All right, thanks, guys.